Sup peeps, Rockskull here. As the Overwatch lore guy, I thought it would be important to make a short video discussing Vendetta and our lore implications, as they have the potential to be pretty massive if they follow through with certain things. Before we begin, I wanted to shout out the fact that I will be doing my yearly charity stream on Saturday, December 13th with some friends for World Central Kitchen. Overwatch in particular will be 8 AM to 12 PM CST, so feel free to stop by and donate if you can. Starting from the earliest part of Vendetta's lore, we actually first will be speaking about her father, Antonio Bartolotti. Antonio was a town criminal who was known to be in connection with smuggling weapons throughout Europe. He wanted a different life for his daughter, Marzia, aka Vendetta, even though she really wanted to be part of his business. He instead taught her how to control her reckless instincts. Antonio led an attack against Overwatch in Oslo, Norway. Gerard, a former Overwatch agent, spoke with Blackwatch on a plan to get back at Antonio by targeting his high-ranking government official connections. He knew if they tried to apprehend Antonio, he would be released right away because of these connections. A bombing of the Overwatch facility in Rome put a wrench in this plan, however, as Gerard was injured in the explosion. This led to Reaper wanting to just go with apprehending Antonio, but Soldier was not for it at all, instead wanting to go the less illegal route. Reaper decided to go with the plan anyway, and this leads us to the official Archives Retribution mission released in 2018. Right at the beginning, we see what Reaper decides to do when he realizes apprehending Antonio wouldn't work.
All these theatrics have been a waste of our time.
You're right.
Yeah. Side note, I actually find it a bit weird the way Cassidy reacts here, as he was actually all for killing Antonio in the comic, but whatevs. After Antonio's death, Talon immediately seized all of his assets and replaced his high-ranking position within Talon, leaving Vendetta stranded. She then decides to join the Colosseo and becomes quite the opponent, using her earnings to craft the sword we see her use in-game. With her victory, she gains higher power status in Colosseo's elite, and with this power, she seeks vengeance against Talon to gain the spot she believes was rightfully hers. She actually attempts to attack Talon when Doomfist gets apprehended by Overwatch, but this fails. Now that he has returned, she is preparing another attack. Now with all this lore laid out, I wanted to get into my thoughts and the implications of all this for future lore. First, this confirms that Talon seems to be the main focus of the story now instead of Null Sector. As we've seen in the latest Ramatra comic and a short story by Sojourn, Ramatra kind of just won and went into hiding, which I find pretty hilarious. Now I understand why they went this route, as the Null Sector invasion lore was pretty much all based around PvE, and we all know how that went. I can't help but feel a little sad though, as Ramatra is still to date one of the best written villains I've seen in a video game, and now they are throwing him to the side, like the game itself. But hey, Doomfist is pretty cool too. Vendetta's lore has me a bit worried about Doomfist though, as it almost seems like they want to throw her in to replace him, which I can't help but feel is really stinky writing if it happens. Despite leaks, I have my doubts it'll even happen though, as the devs have a common tendency to leave cliffhangers and then never do anything with it. Like going down the list of new heroes, we got the Venture Talent Artifact thing, Juno's parents still stuck on Mars, Freya meeting up with Emre, and Wu Yang's sister joining Overwatch. It feels like they leave things open-ended on purpose to maybe get back to them later, and I wouldn't be surprised if this whole Vendetta Doomfist thing has the same fate. I did find it very suspicious that there wasn't a lot being added to Season 20, hinting at more possible lore drops, but I don't know, I'm just becoming MatPat at this point. I do think Vendetta's backstory itself is solid though, with us finally getting back to the implications of Reaper killing Antonio in the Retribution Archives mission. Not only did it cause the fall of Overwatch, it made a little Italian girl very angry. Wanted to end off this video with new Season 20 interactions, as we actually got some pretty saucy ones. First I wanted to show off noteworthy Vendetta ones, as honestly she gets crapped on by a lot of heroes and it's kind of funny.
The wolf of retribution. And people say I'm dramatic.
Don't test my fangs, Gabriel Reyes. You'll end up bloody. Allying with Doomfist truly was the beginning of your failure.
Failure is only a threat to those who see a single path.
Come face me in the Colosseo, champion. Prove you're more than just prey.
The hamster prefers a real challenge.
Fine. Damnatio bestias it is. My wolves will love the chase.
Guess failure runs in the family.
I'm kind of surprised they went this route with interactions, but it goes to show her philosophies are pretty weak, and nobody at all seems to be threatened by her, despite maybe Juno. Really hammers in the fact for me that putting her as like the main villain replacing Doomfist would be a crazy move. Relating to this, another really important interaction to me is this one between Sojourn and Ramatra.
Null Sector has a foothold in so many cities. Why withdraw your forces now?
Would you have preferred I destroy humanity?
The way you're consolidating your forces, I think you're still planning on it.
I seek liberation, not devastation. I leave such senseless conflict to your kind.
Man, Ramatra's so cool. I love the fact that even though he clearly had the upper hand in the war, he really doesn't want to fight humanity at all. He simply wants to free his people from them. Goes to show how much those Shambali philosophies are still a part of him. Can only hope the devs don't completely give up on his story in the future, but it seems like they already are. Anyway, that's going to conclude what was pretty much our lore rambling video. Can you let me know your thoughts in the comments on this new direction the lore is going? Remember to stop by the charity stream if you can, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
Rock skull, rock skull. All he wants to do is stream all night. Lobby full, rock skull. Never gonna play with me, but it's alright.